Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Sanders, and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today's little vest pocket video is going to be covering a couple different things. The major focus is on barrels and what they do. Now, everybody knows, I think, that they hold the mainspring and then they unwind, and as they unwind, the watch runs. We're going to look at four different kinds of barrels with the idea of two things. One, efficiently running the watch, and also extending the amount of time between the times you have to wind them. Of course, this excludes automatics for the time being. The first way is simply having a larger barrel. If you have a larger barrel, it takes longer to unwind. The second way that's often related to that is having a lower frequency. Now, the most popular frequency is 4 hertz, or 28,800 vibrations per hour. But one that the better, I'll put it that way, watchmakers use is under 4. Now, this Oris caliber 111 has 3 hertz. It runs at 3 hertz with the great big barrel. It lasts for 240 hours. That's 10 days. So you can wind that thing up on Monday, and sometime the next week you can rewind it. Now, another one is called, they're 2 barrels in serial. Now, what that means, if they're in serial, that means when one is finished unwinding, the other one will start unwinding. And so this basically doubles the amount of time that the watch will run. Now, this Christopher Ward SH21 runs a little faster. It runs at 4 hertz, and for whatever reason, they preferred the 4 hertz over 3, and out of that comes a 120-hour reserve, which is pretty good reserve. You wind it up and let it go. So that's 2 barrels in serial. Now, you can have 2 barrels in parallel, and what that means, 2 barrels that are in parallel are running at the same time, doing parallel work. The one on the left is the newer watch called the Chopin. More common example, this is a FP Journe Chronomet Souverain, and it has 2 barrels that also run in parallel. And what that does, it sort of evens out the torque, and it keeps it, the idea behind it is that you'll have a more constant power source, the amount of power coming out, instead of having it at different amounts depending on the state of the spring. This tends to even out the torque, so you have more accuracy. Now this one, the one in the Chopin, that runs at 3 hertz, it has 96 hours power reserve using the parallel barrels. Now, the final one is another double barrel that runs in parallel, and this is the caliber 381 from Jaeger-LeCoultre's duometric. Now, this works on a dual wing concept, which means that you've got 2 barrels, and one of them takes care of one job, and the other one supplies power for something totally different. So here, with the 2 independent power reserve, one is devoted simply to keeping precise time, and the other one is for moving all of the gizmos around on the watch. Now, it's got, it has date, hours, minutes, seconds, but then it's got something called the Foudroyant seconds. Now, what that is this gizmo that the seconds move pretty quickly. I think they move something on an order of 4 times as fast as a typical second hand. To be honest with you, I don't know what they're used for, but they're used for something that people need a Foudroyant for. And so here you have one barrel that handles all of this other stuff, while the other one's just concentrating on the time. It also has a moon phase to move around as well. So anyway, that is, when you think of if you're looking for a watch and you're wondering about some different things, if it has a double barrel, find out whether it's in serial or parallel, and then but it might be a dual wing one. This is my FP Journe Resonance. It has a dual wing type. You can see the two barrels up there, but it also has two really separate little watches it's running. Okay, well, I'd like to hear your comments on this. And until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Side, the art and science of watch collection. And as always, this is an invitation to subscribe if you'd like.